In Houston, Texas, two Big Ten foes are set to battle for the second time this season, but this time it's for a trip to the Final Four, with one program trying to snap a long Final Four drought, the other trying to snap a multi-generation long Final Four drought. As the Illinois Fighting Illini, one of the hottest teams in the country at the right time of year, takes on the Iowa Hawkeyes, seeking their first Final Four appearance in 46 years. These two Big Ten teams to battle it out in the South Regional Final in Houston, Texas. And hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to Houston. Thanks for having us in for the South Regional Final, the first of four regional finals over the next 2 days to determine who will go to Indianapolis and play in the Final Four. Illinois comes in red hot, as we mentioned. Not many teams, maybe no team, has performed better in this tournament than the Illini have. A dominant 35-point victory in Greenville, South Carolina over the Ivy League champions Penn last Thursday. They followed that up with a stress-free 21-point victory in the second round over Virginia Commonwealth. And then on Thursday night, they came to Houston to play Houston, the team that made it all the way to the national championship game last year, and they outmuscled Kelvin Sampson's Cougars to a 10-point win. So it's three double-digit victories in a row for Illinois to make it to the Elite Eight. Brad Underwood, of course, has coached this program so extremely well over the last decade. This is their seventh straight 20-win season. Only four schools can say that, and Illinois is one of them. And here they are now, one win away from their first Final Four in over 20 years. The Iowa Hawkeyes, a Big Ten rival, is their opponent today. And what a ride it has been for this Iowa team, coached by Ben McCullum. At 24-12 on the season, they finished ninth in the Big Ten. They received a number 9 seed in this tournament. They defeated Clemson in the first round by 6. Then a win over top-seeded Florida by 1 point in an absolute thriller in Tampa last Sunday, and then Thursday against another Big Ten team, and as an underdog against Nebraska, they finished strong after leading for not very much of the game, winning at 77-71. Lute Olson was Iowa's head coach the last time they made it to the Final Four. That was in 1980. They're trying to get there for the first time in 46 years. This is their first time in the Elite Eight since 1987. Illinois, as the high seed, wears their home whites, dark blue numbers, orange trim. Iowa in road black, yellow numbers, nameplates, and trim, and we're underway with Iowa controlling the opening tip. A trip to the Final Four is 40 minutes away for two teams that haven't been there in a long, long time. Bennett Sturts leads Iowa in many categories, including scoring. He handles out of the right corner, gives it up top of the key. Now back to Sturts, who tried to drive baseline and thread a pass inside, and a foul is called against Illinois straight away. Foul is on the floor, so Iowa will inbound. Second time for these two teams playing this year. They played in conference play on January the 11th, and that was at Iowa. Illinois won by 6. As the inbounds pass is tipped away by Colin Boswell and stolen by the Big Ten's Freshman of the Year, Keaton Wagler. Wagler in the Illinois starting lineup along with Kylan Boswell as Wagler fumbles the ball on the far side. He went onto the floor to save it, but it's stolen away, and Iowa brings it back off the turnover, and Tavion Banks went hard to the rim. He couldn't score on his initial bid, but they clean it up underneath, and Iowa's got the first points. Once again, the Illinois starting lineup, Wagler with Boswell, the transfer from Arizona, big man Jake Davis along with David Mirkovich, perhaps their best player, and Tomislav Ivicic, and they get it inside for Mirkovich, who's called for traveling as he tried to work it into the paint, and it's 2 possessions and 2 turnovers for Illinois, who are the decided favorites in this game here tonight. And here comes Iowa up the floor after the Cale Combs basket on their second possession. And here's Sturts with a bounce pass across the lane. And Cam Manyow elevates for an easy dunk with no Illini defender around him. And it's a great start for Iowa. It's 4-0 Hawkeyes. Illinois into the front court again, and Kylan Boswell dribbling to his right. Now we have a foul on the floor away from the ball against Iowa, who puts out a starting lineup that includes, of course, Bennett Sturts, the reigning Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year, where he played under Ben McCollum, who was the head coach at Drake. And now in his first season at Iowa, Sturts along with Cale Combs, Tavion Banks, Cooper Koch, and Cam Manyow. As Illinois inbounds, attacking to our left, Wagler swings it on the wing, taken there by Tomislava Visic. Now Davis on the outside, triggers it into the left corner where Boswell lets a three fly, comes up short off the left side of the rim, and Sturts has the rebound, and Iowa has possession. They attack to our right in those black uniforms with yellow numbers, those classic Iowa colors, and Sturts turns the corner, gets to the left elbow, and his fadeaway jumper is good, and Iowa's got the first 6 points of the game. 6-0 Hawkeyes in front, and this already is the largest deficit of the tournament for this Illinois team, who, as I mentioned, has scored double-digit victories in all 3 of their games in the tournament. Here is Mirkovic, the freshman from Montenegro, in for Davis. Back for Mirkovic again, out of the left corner. Backs his way in, turns down the lane line. Mid-range jumper misses, rebounded by Manyow, and Iowa brings it back the other way. And rebounding is going to be a huge story in this game. Illinois is one of the top rebounding teams in the country, 11th in Division I college basketball in total rebounding. Iowa ranks 358th in that category as Sturts lines up a three off right wing. It misses, and Illinois got the rebound. So here come the Illini back up the floor. Just about 3 minutes gone in this first half. Just underway in Houston in the first of the regional finals. And Illinois with possession, still trying to get on the board. Off right wing, Davis launches a three. It's a line driver that skips off the cup, no good. And the rebound taken by Banks, who got it ahead in transition for Sturts. Sturts kicks it out on the perimeter. Cooper Koch hits the brakes and holds up play in the middle of the floor. And Iowa gets set up in the half court. Here's Sturts. Outside left, head fake, threaded bounce pass. Banks spins inside, kicks it up top. Three is up and down from straight away. And Iowa off to a tremendous start. It's 9-0 to the Hawkeyes here. 9 points to start for Iowa. Here's Illinois at the other end. Wagler lost the dribble, was able to recover. Now he drives in from the left, gets in the paint with a fadeaway jumper that he banks in. And the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, Wagler, gets Illinois on the board. Here come the Hawkeyes, though. Could not have asked for a better start. They did not lead very much at all on Thursday night against Nebraska. Came back late to take the lead and win it by 6. Sturts off the top of the circle, gives it up for Manyow. Back for Sturts on a leave on the left wing, and then Sturts drills a three. Bennett Sturts out of Liberty, Missouri, who averages just under 20 points a game for the season. He's at 16 a game in the tournament. Nails the three. Iowa's got 2 hits from downtown already. Illinois at the other end, and Wagler once more losing the dribble against the good defense of Koch. Was able to recover, and now at the head of the arc. Takes a screen. Wagler out to his right, spins his way inside, leaps into the lane, goes to the rim, forces it up. It won't go, and the offensive rebound was taken by Jake Davis, who went back up for a putback, and he gets fouled. And that'll lead to our first media timeout, and what a great start for the Hawkeyes from Iowa. 12-2. Out in front, just after the 4-minute mark. Could not have asked for a better start for the 9th-seeded Hawkeyes, who again finished 9th in Big Ten play this season. 10-10 they went in the extremely loaded Big Ten, and of course, if you need to know anything about what playing in the Big Ten was like this year, all you can all you have to look at how the Big Ten teams have fared in this tournament. All the teams from that conference that made it to the Sweet 16 and the ones that's made it to the Elite Eight. Purdue, of course, playing later tonight in a regional final against Arizona. And tomorrow, Michigan plays for a Final Four spot against Tennessee. They've got half of the Elite Eight and had even more, of course, in the Sweet 16. Had Nebraska, who lost to these Iowa Hawkeyes on Thursday night. Had Michigan State, who bowed out last night against UConn. So, about as perfect of a start as Iowa could have asked for. Again, these two teams played in Iowa City on January the 11th. It was a 6-point win for Illinois, 75-69. Three-pointers were falling for both teams. Illinois hit 10 on that game. Iowa had 9, and Keaton Wagler led all scorers with 19 points. 4 Hawkeyes ended up in double-figure scoring, led by Tavion Banks with 16. And it was an off-shooting day for Bennett Sturts, who was just 3 of 9 from the field and 2 of 8 from 3, ended with 12 points. But Iowa has hit 5 of their first 6 shots from the field, and this is a good shooting Iowa team. We talked about how huge of an advantage Illinois should have on paper in rebounding in this game. Best way that Iowa can go about not allowing Illinois to dominate them on the glass is by not missing many shots. And Iowa on the season shoots 49% from the field, which is 22nd best in all of Division I college basketball. But again, Illinois with just a major advantage in rebounding in this game. As I said, they are 11th in the country in total rebounding. Iowa in that category is 358th. So out of the first media timeout of the night here, 12-2 is the lead for Iowa, and the free throw out of the timeout, the first one is off the front of the rim and no good from Illinois' Jake Davis, junior from McCordsville, Indiana. That was only his 21st free throw attempted on the season. Second foul shot is up and good, so he hits 1 out of 2. 12-3 our score. As Iowa will inbound it, and again going from our left to our right are the Hawkeyes. Black uniforms with those gold numbers, gold Iowa letters on the front of the jersey and the nameplates on the back. Alvaro Folgueras, who was a hero on Thursday night onto the floor for the first time, was of course a hero against Florida in the second round. Gives to Sturts off the left. Shot clock at single figures here, as Sturts threads a bounce pass in for Banks, who cuts to the rim, and his layup is blocked from behind. Zvonimir Ivisic, Big Z as they call him, the junior from Croatia that transferred in after 2 seasons at an SEC program, a couple of SEC programs, started his career at Kentucky, last year was at Arkansas. Here's Mirkovic roaming into the right elbow, back to the outside. Andrei Stojakovic, who was brilliant last Saturday in the win over VCU. Bounce pass into the right corner intended for Ben Humrickhouse, got bobbled, and it's on the floor, and it ends up with bodies on the floor trying to corral it as a jump ball, and Illinois will have it with the possession arrow. Illinois, a really good shot-blocking team. They've got all this size, and Ivisic, with that rejection there a moment ago, he ranked second in the Big Ten in blocks at over 2 a game. A lot of international flair to this Illinois team, particularly European flair to this Illinois team. And, of course, the Ivisic brothers, Zvonimir and Tomislav, both from Croatia. You have Stojakovic, originally from Greece, Mirkovic from Montenegro. Illinois will inbound from underneath. Wagler floats the inbounds pass into the right corner where Mirkovic catches. Mirkovic spins in the corner, defended by Combs. Plays it back to the outside for Wagler. Now Mirkovic again bounces his way into the lane from the right, forces it up. Good defending by Combs. Shot misses short. Back tap on the rebound, and Illinois got it. Humrickhouse back up top to Wagler. That's what Illinois can do. They can play volleyball with rebounds, as off left wing, Humrickhouse lines Stands up a three. It clanks off. Another offensive rebound. Comes to Stojakovic on the left baseline. And he goes back up strong with the putback, and he knocks it down. 12-5, the lead for Iowa. 3 opportunities on that trip for Illinois, and they eventually get points out of it. Here's Iowa on the ball again. Sturts outside right, slashes left, defended by Stojakovic. Son of a longtime NBA player, gives to Combs off right wing, plays catch on the perimeter with Banks. Combs with 5 on the shot clock, centers it for a drive inside by Fulgaris, who tried to flip it across the lane. It's stolen, and it's Stojakovic the other way with a runner in transition, and he knocks it down, plus a foul on Combs, who was trying to get back defensively. And a chance at a 3-point play as Stojakovic finishes through the contact. And Andrei Stojakovic, who had that enormous game, as I mentioned, last Saturday in the second round win over VCU, 21 points to lead all Illinois scorers in that game, will go to the line where he is 83% for the season. Isaiah Howard has just checked into the game for the first time for Iowa. Stojakovic's free throw is missed, but Mirkovic sneaks in to get the offensive rebound, and he lays it back up and in. Turns into a 4-point possession for Illinois. Sturts again into the front court for Iowa. Fulgaris shovels it up top. Tate Sage back for Sturts. Directs a bounce pass to his left on the wing. Fulgaris back for Sturts. Fulgaris sets a screen. Sturts top of the circle. Feeds it this way. Sage again for Sturts. Dribble drive. Right lane line. Hits the brakes. Kicks it out to a trailing Howard, who rises for 3. Straight away no. Rebound batted out of bounds. It's last off Iowa. It'll belong again to the Illini. Illinois making their 36th NCAA tournament appearance. And when they won last week against Penn, they secured at least 1 win in the tournament for the 5th time in the last 6 NCAA tournaments played. Kylan Boswell up the floor, slips it inside. Savonimir Ivicic to the rim. Missed the layup, too strong off glass, but he draws a foul and he'll head to the line. Again, Big Z, as they like to call him. Started his career at Kentucky in the 23-24 season. Then he followed John Calipari to Arkansas last year. Now at Illinois with Brad Underwood. And with his brother, Tomislav Ivicic. Here is Big Z at the foul line, and his first free throw is good. He's just 68% from the foul stripe this season, but he's able to knock that one down. And 1 more to go. At the line for Ivicic, who averaged just under 7 points and 5 rebounds a game for Brad Underwood's team this year. Second foul shot is up and good. He knocks down 2, and it's 12-11. A great start for Iowa. Illinois has dragged them back as Sturts is into the front court. A lot of that thanks to the Illinois defense, which is terrific. 3.5 minutes, Iowa's gone without scoring. Here's Sage off left wing. Centered back for Sturts. Screen from Maniau. Maniau gets it on a bounce feed. Passes into the right corner. Howard dribbles to the foul line. Shot clock at 7. Shot clock at 6. Sturts feeds it right. Gets it back on a return from Maniau. Sturts steps back. Right wing rainbow. 3 is good! Oh, Sturts drops a rainbow down. And Iowa needed that after going nearly 4 minutes between points. Stops the Illinois run with 12 to go in the first half. Boswell, Arizona transfer, into the front court, sweeps it left, taken there on the wing. Stojakovic creeps towards the arc. He has a switch on him defensively, and now he'll go after Cooper Koch, and into the lane goes Stojakovic, and he gets bumped. To the ground he goes, and he is fouled, and that'll lead to a timeout as we're inside the final 12 minutes of this first half. Entertaining start. And the Hawkeyes, with that hot start shooting the ball, they hit 5 of their first 6. They're now 6 of 9 from the field. And Illinois, as we thought they would, imposing their will on the glass. And a 15-11 game here as we play middle stages of the first half in this South Regional Final. Winner goes to the Final Four in Indianapolis, and no doubt whoever comes out of this game with the win, There will be tons of their fans in Indianapolis next weekend. It's obviously not that long of a trip from Champaign, Illinois to Indy, or from Iowa to Indy either. But who will it be that gets there? Still over 30 minutes to find out. Illinois ranked 4th in the Big Ten in the regular season standings, 15-5 in conference play, 5 games better than Iowa and 5 positions better than Iowa in the Big Ten. And as I said, red hot so far in this tournament, and red hot really for the last 4 weeks or so. Their only loss in the month of March was in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament against Wisconsin, who was red hot going into that tournament as well, and that was an overtime loss that they took to the Badgers, 91-88. That's the only loss they've had in the month of March, although they did lose their last 2 games of February at UCLA on an overtime buzzer beater by the Owens, and lost their next game, of course, to Michigan after that. Michigan beating almost everyone in the Big Ten this season. So again, regional finals, 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow, all 4 of them on this channel. Later tonight, we've got Purdue and Arizona. Following this game here, tomorrow at 2:15, Michigan and Tennessee in the Midwest Regional Final in Chicago. And that'll be followed by Duke and UConn in the East Regional Final. Just under 12 minutes to go in this first half. As you can see, 15-11 the lead for Iowa. And again, a good shooting start for these Hawkeyes. They've made 6 of their first 9. Illinois will inbound out of the timeout, and they get it in short corner left to Stojakovic, who shows it, spins his way to the rim. Pretty footwork, and Stojakovic scores off glass to make it 15-13, and Stojakovic looks really good again here today. He's had a good tournament, averaging over 14 a game in the tournament. He was at 13.5 a game for the season. Here's Sturtz off right wing. Behind the back, no-look pass to the head of the arc. Isaiah Howard puts his head down. Drives inside. Humrickhouse shuts him off defensively. Now back to Sturtz again. Late in the clock here for Iowa. 4 to shoot. Sturtz on the dribble. Gets to the right elbow and pulls up with a jumper, and that's good. Sturtz scores again. And consistent scorer of the ball is Bennett Sturtz, the reigning Missouri Valley Player of the Year when he played under Ben McCullum at Drake. He's got 10 of Iowa's first 17. The Hawkeyes have hit 7 of 11. Illinois ball with Humrickhouse outside right. He's defended by Cooper Koch. Humrickhouse's pass into the corner skips off the hands of Tomislav Ivicic. And out of bounds, a turnover by Illinois. Team that is really good at not turning it over, the Illini. In fact, both of these teams are. Illinois at 8.9 turnovers a game. That's 6th fewest in the country. Cooper Koch off right wing, dribble handoff. Cale Combs whips it cross court. Sturtz takes on Stojakovic, centers at the head of the key. Manyow back to Sturtz, then Manyow again. Extra feed left corner. Tate Sage is up and down from 3. Corner pocket hit from Sage, the freshman from Weatherford, Oklahoma. Knocks down Iowa's 4th 3. They lead by 7. Illinois into the front court with Wagler, freshman from Shawnee, Kansas. And he feeds Stojakovic, who tries to slice his way in from the left, and he's fouled on the floor by Sage. Wagler is an amazing story. Received only 2 high major offers in his recruiting cycle, according to all of the recruiting sites. He was not a top 100 freshman. Some didn't even have him in the top 125, barely making the top 150 incoming freshman in this loaded freshman class. Ended up being Frosh of the Year in the Big Ten. He gets the inbound, spins his way inside, lobs it up to the rim, and the initial tip wouldn't go from Tomislav Ivicic, but he tipped back his own miss and laid it in. Some Iowa players thought that ball was still over the cylinder when he tipped it the second time, but they count the basket, and Iowa brings it back into the front court to our right. Manyow drifting left on the far side in the corner. Back for Sturts. Manyow a screen. Sturts feeling it early. Feeds it right. Combs flexes it into the corner. Gets it back on a return. Dribbles right elbow. Low pass. Sturts collects. Off left wing. Shoots another three. This one off the heel. No good. And the rebound is all Illinois. Merkovich picks that one up. Merkovich had a game earlier this year, very early in November against Colgate, where he had 21 rebounds. He averages 8 rebounds a game, 6th in the Big Ten in the regular season in swiping the glass. Wagler, top of the arc, up for three from straight away, and he cans it. Wagler bullseyes a three, and it's 20-18. Under 9 to go first half. Illinois has settled themselves after a slow start. Sturts loses the ball but recovers. Feeds it around the horn, off right wing. Combs, centered ball. Manyow, back for Sturts. One hands a pass. Hooked it into the right corner. Combs up the right baseline. Feeds the elbow. Tavion Banks tried to drive inside against that strong defense of Merkovich. He lost it out of bounds. Officials communicating with each other on whose ball that should be. They're going to leave it with Iowa. Shot clock at 8, so the Hawkeyes will have to be in a semi-hurry here on the inbound. 8 on the shot clock, and the inbound coming from underneath, and Ben McCollum screaming across the floor trying to get his team's attention. Again, this is a team that barely led Thursday against Nebraska, only led for 2 minutes in that game. They've led the whole way here to start. Sturts on the inbound with only 5 to shoot. Knocks it inside. Banks goes up the baseline and up for the layup. It doesn't go, but he's fouled by Tomislav Ivicic, and that'll just be the second team foul against Illinois. And free throws coming for Tavion Banks, senior out of Kansas City, and one of a number of players on this Iowa roster that followed Ben McCollum from Drake. First free throw rolls around the rim and drops in. 10 points, 5 rebounds a game for Banks last season at Drake. Close to those numbers this year. 10.5 points, 4.5 rebounds a game in his first year as a Hawkeye. Didn't do a lot of scoring against Nebraska on Thursday night, though. Just 2 points in 14 minutes. But he hits both free throws there to get to 2 already on this night in Houston. Illinois into the front court. White uniforms, dark blue numbers, orange trim. And into the front court to our left. Merkovich head fake, drives it into the corner and gets it there for Davis. The return for Merkovich on a floated ball. Mid-post left. Merkovich trying to work his way in as it's stripped away by Combs. And a steal in the end by Fulgaris, and then he loses it. Boswell punched it away in transition, and Illinois got it back. It never even left Iowa's end of the floor. Here's Wagler outside left. Takes a couple of screens right in a series from Merkovich. Now Wagler has it again. Off the head of the key, dribbling in on Sturts, puts his back to him, trying to post him up. Wagler tries to create space, forces it up off the glass, and it drops. And Ben McCollum a bit fired up there after that turnover led to a basket and then a foul in the backcourt as Boswell was trying to make the progression in the front court from Sturts difficult. Banged into him. Sturts ends up on the ground. Foul is called against Boswell, one of the most important Illini players. And that takes us to a timeout, under 8 media timeout. Iowa's led the whole way to start this South Regional Final. They lead now 22-20 in this all Big Ten affair for a spot in the Final Four. Regional Final weekend is here. This is the first of the Elite Eight games. Tonight it's Arizona and Purdue out in San Jose, top 2 seeds in the West. It's one of 2 regional finals that features the top 2 seeds. The other one is tomorrow night with Duke and UConn, the top 2 seeds in the East. That's at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Before that, at 2:15, it'll be Michigan and Tennessee, the 1 and 6 seeds in the Midwest. They'll play in Chicago. And the winners of these 4 games will meet up, of course, in Indianapolis next Saturday for National Semifinal Day. And it will be an absolute treat no matter what the combination of four teams we get. It's going to be an absolute fantastic Final Four. This South Regional is matched with the East, so it's the winner of this game against the winner of Duke-UConn tomorrow that'll meet up in one of the national semifinals next week. And then it's the winner of Arizona-Purdue against the winner of Michigan-Tennessee. A lot of people looking forward to the possibility of a showdown between the one seeds Arizona and Michigan if they both win their games this weekend. But obviously Purdue, a strong number 2 seed, they'll have an enormous fan base if they make it to Indianapolis next week. Big Orange always travels with Tennessee as well if they can make it to what would be their first ever Final Four. Of the 8 Elite 8 teams, 7 of those programs have a past Final Four appearance. Tennessee is the only one to have never made the Final Four. They'll try to do it tomorrow, where they will be the decided underdog against Michigan. Of course, the Volunteers in a regional final for the 3rd consecutive year under Rick Barnes. Going to be a heck of a game, that one tomorrow. All 4 of these games are going to be great. Obviously, Arizona, Purdue, and Duke-UConn seems to be the ones that everyone wants to talk about. Those are the 1-2 matchups. But Michigan, Tennessee. Tennessee played better than a 6 seed for most of the season, and they played so many games throughout the year that they coulda, shoulda, woulda won. Just couldn't finish some games at the tail end, and lost some games that they really had no business losing. That's why they ended up as a 6 seed. But they have shown how valuable the team can be in this tournament with how they have played and how they've won. Not struggling at all with Miami University, then knocking off Virginia, and last night on basically what was a road game in Chicago against Iowa State, pretty much a straightforward win over that talented Cyclone team, which once again takes a disappointing early exit from the tournament. Got 7:43 left in this first half. 22-20 is our score. Iowa, by far the lowest seeded team left in this tournament. Number 9 seed in this South region. Skated by Clemson, the 8 seed in the first round by 6. And then the stunning upset over Florida last Sunday, taking down the reigning national champion Gators in a thriller 73-72. We have some kind of issue going on, seemingly at the scorers table here, perhaps. And we are not going to get play restarted as we thought we were. TV came back from commercial, and we have not restarted play. So an issue of some sort. Oh, I see. The buzzer has gotten stuck. And the buzzer has been blaring for the last couple of minutes, and they cannot get it to stop. So this game is in a delay. A very loud delay at that. Oh, wow. Well, you just never know what's going to happen. And in this case, it is a horn that continues to blare as the buzzer has gotten stuck. People covering their ears in the seats at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. So, a buzzer delay here that we are not hearing, thankfully. We're happy about that. give you an update on the women's college basketball tournament today. Sweet 16 started started yesterday, continuing today. And earlier today, Michigan dispatched of Louisville 71-52 to put the second-seeded Wolverines into the Regional 3 final in Fort Worth. And in that regional final, they will take on top-seeded Texas, who beat SEC foe Kentucky by 22, 76-54. So Texas and Michigan will play on Monday for a spot in the women's Final Four. And the game ongoing as we speak is definitely going South Carolina's way. Top seed in Regional 4 in Sacramento. They lead Oklahoma by 24 points just about midway through the fourth quarter at 78-54. So it'll be a South Carolina victory that'll send them into the Regional 4 final. They will play the winner of TCU and Virginia, who plays in the second game in Regional 4 tonight at 7:30. If, of course, Virginia wins, and Virginia has been the Cinderella, if you will, of the women's tournament, getting to the Sweet 16 as a 10 seed, and if they find a way to win tonight, then it will be Dawn Staley going up against her alma mater for a spot in the Final Four on Monday. Tomorrow, 2 Elite Eight games on the women's side. UConn and Notre Dame. That's some nostalgia for you right there. For those two teams to be playing a pivotal game in the women's tournament. That is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, UConn and Notre Dame, followed by UCLA and Duke in the Regional 2 final in Sacramento. They have brought some shoot-around balls out, and they're allowing the teams to get back onto the floor and just take what basically amounts to a pregame shoot-around here as the horn is continuing to blare, and we are in a delay here in Houston. My goodness. And, of course, a nightmare situation for some media people if this delay goes on too much longer, because that could bleed the finish of this game into the start of Arizona-Purdue later. Well, the start of this game was perfect for Iowa. They hit 5 of their first 6 shots, and they led 12-2. Since then, Illinois has outscored them, but not by a whole lot. Outscored 18-10 since that point, and now it is a 2-point game with 7:43 to go in the first half. Iowa's 8 of 13 from the field. Illinois is 8 of 15, so both shooting well over 50%. Iowa's 4 of 7 from three-point range, led as they almost always are by Bennett Sturtz, who has 10 of their 22 points. He is 2 of 4 from the field and 4 of 6 from the field, and 2 of 4 from 3 is Sturtz. No other Iowa player is over 5 points scoring. Illinois balanced scoring as they normally always are. Wagler leads the Illini with 7. So shoot around going on. On the left side of the floor is Iowa in black and gold. On the right side of the floor is Illinois in orange, blue, and white, as the folks behind the scenes are trying to get the horn to stop blaring. And it would seem as if perhaps it has just stopped. And now the teams are heading back to their respective benches. This is the time where us not being able to hear is a detriment to us. Now players on both teams are running using the width of the court from one side to another. Coaches have gotten together at the scorer's table now. Ben McCollum, 44-year-old from Iowa City, and Brad Underwood from McPherson, Kansas at 62 years of age, the former Stephen F. Austin and Oklahoma State bench boss. Just crossed over 300 career coaching wins, did Underwood. His win in the second round against VCU was the 300th win of his career. In his 10th NCAA tournament appearance, Brad Underwood is 6th at Illinois. Took Stephen F. Austin to tournaments, it felt like, every year he was there. Dan Gavitt has also made his way to the scorer's table. That's the senior VP of NCAA basketball, Dan Gavitt. And I think what perhaps the situation now is they've gotten the horn to stop, but now an air horn has been taken. An air horn has been taken to the scorer's table, and I wonder if they're going to try to use that as the as the horn and as the buzzer here. Whatever you can do, I guess. But based on the reaction from the players and coaches here, looks like play is about to restart. Of course, we do not bring you game footage or audio on these live streams, so absolutely no idea what the exact situation is, but the big screen over top, the Jumbotron over the floor, is completely blackened now. So I wonder. So something has obviously happened, but they've gotten the horn to stop because we're back. We're ready for play to restart, and there's a gentleman on the scorer's table with an air horn in hand to blow the air horn when needed. This has been an 11-minute delay because of the horn malfunction, but now play restarts as Iowa inbounds, and Bennett Sturtz dribbles into the front court. Kylan Boswell, great defender, he's on him defensively. Sturtz calls for a screen from Banks and gets it. Sturtz in from the right, accelerates to the basket, and lays it in with the right hand. Sturtz puts Iowa up 24-20. 7:20 to go in this first half. Sturtz has half of Iowa's 24 points. Boswell at the other end. Muscles in on Sturtz, goes to the rim. Fulgaris knocks the ball away from him, and Koch comes away with it. Forwarded on an outlet for Sturtz. Swings it left. Koch onto the wing. Fulgaris dribbles along the arc to his right. One hand's a pass for Sturtz. Out for a screen comes Banks. Sturtz to the left. No look feed on the wing. Fulgaris drive, kick. Banks extra. Up top Sturtz on the deck. Bounce pass left corner. Combs back up top Sturtz. Shot clock at 5. Shot fake. Up for 3. Sturtz hits another. Bennett Sturtz on fire, has 15 of Iowa's 27 points, and the Hawkeyes build their lead to 7. Sturtz averages 19.7 points per game. He's just shy of that total in the first half. Illinois looking for answers at the other end. Wagler slices right, spins on the right elbow, gets inside to the rim, banks it up and home, and through traffic, Wagler threads his way through defenders and gets a pivotal basket there for Illinois to stop the Iowa run. Now Fulgaris off right wing, hands it off. Now it comes to Sturtz. Back on the left, Fulgaris. Sturtz wraps it. Fulgaris up top. He's open to shoot a 3. Swirling miss. Rebounded by Merkovich in Illinois. Has it coming back the other way. Puts it into the hands of Wagler. Into the front court to our left. Wagler zigzagging left to right. Steps to the wing. Launches a 3. Off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound. Pinballs around. And it's out of bounds. Officials conferring with each other. It's going to go to Iowa. Hawkeyes will have it again. Getting some stops here in this portion of the game just after the delay because of the horn malfunction. Sturtz on the inbound. Gets it back quickly from Combs. Far left side of the floor. Into the front court goes Sturtz. Quick screen comes from Koch. Swings it right. On the drive from the middle. Banks threads it into the left corner. Fulgaris tries to back it on Merkovich. He does. He muscles it up. Merkovich got a piece. And Fulgaris wants to know where the whistle for a foul was. Illinois away with the loose ball. Into the offensive end with Stojakovic. Mid-post left, tries to back his way in, kicks it out up top. Boswell accelerates a hard drive up the middle, then dishes it off, and Stojakovic is there to catch it and lay it in. Stojakovic continuing a good first half. Makes it a 3-point game with 5 minutes to go. Iowa ball with Combs, off right arc, centered ball. Sturts takes a screen from Banks. Sturts in wide off the left, wraps it up top. Banks to the foul line. Fulgaris shoveled it back. Sturts picks up his dribble right elbow, feeds the baseline. Banks back for Sturts, right corner to the right elbow, gets it up top, straight on three, launched and missed by Manial. Boswell picks up the rebound in Illinois. Is onto the offensive end of the floor once again, down by 3. Boswell spinning off the left arc, feeds it up the middle. Tomislav Ivicic directed to his right. Wagler staggers across the March Madness logo to his left. Now into the far right corner. Stojakovic turns the corner, hits the spin button, lost the ball inside. Combs stripped it away. Sturts in transition. Bounce passes at the feet of Banks, who could not collect it. It's stolen by Merkovich. Illinois ball again. Wagler comes down the floor, shoots a straight on 3, straight away, and that's off the rim, no good, and the rebound batted out of bounds, and it's last off Cooper Koch in Iowa. 4:07 left to play in this first half. 27-24 Iowa lead. They have led the entire way. Jumped out of the gates with a 12-2 lead. Inbound from underneath. Wagler will look to get it in. Humrickhouse checks back in. Inbound is lassoed in off the left elbow. Merkovich, high post left, drifting back beyond the arc. Back for Wagler on a wrap. Drives it inside, and he takes a bump and a foul on the floor against Combs. But Illinois is now in the bonus, and free throws are going to come from Wagler. 1-1. For Wagler at the line. Isaiah Howard out of Plattsburgh, Missouri. Another player on this Iowa roster that followed McCullum over from Drake. He's going to check into the game. And Wagler, 79% foul shooter, 10th leading scorer in the Big Ten this season, goes to the foul stripe. Over 17 points per game for the season. He's at 15 a game in the tournament. Came up with a double-double Thursday night against Houston. Didn't shoot the ball well against Houston, just 4 of 14 from the field. Still managed 13 points and 12 rebounds. First free throw is good. Two Big Ten teams battling it out here. Third time ever that we've had two Big Ten teams playing a tournament game against each other. Michigan and Ohio State played a regional final against each other in '92. Purdue and Wisconsin 8 years later in 2000. 2 dribbles of the ball. Wagler spins it in his hands, bends the knees, flicks the wrist, free throw, hits off the front of the rim, drops in, and Illinois is within 1. And here come the Hawkeyes up the floor. Tate Sage brings it up, feeds it up the middle. Manial has it top of the arc. Back for the ball is Sturts, who has not exited this game. He led the Big Ten in minutes at 38 a game. Flips it into the right corner for Howard. Shoveled back up top, Manial. Back for Sturts, who looks to get open. Shoots a right arc 3. Clanks off the side of the rim and goes high up over the top of the backboard. That ball will belong to Illinois, and we get our final media timeout of this first half with Iowa's lead, which was earlier at 10. It's now at 1. One-point Hawkeye lead as we start regional final weekend in the NCAA tournament at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Later tonight in San Jose, it is Arizona and Purdue. The top 2 seeds in the West will do battle at the Shark Tank, the SAP Center in San Jose. Michigan and Tennessee in Chicago tomorrow. Duke and UConn in Washington, D.C. follows that game. The doubleheader tomorrow. Highly anticipated games there with the Wolverines and Volunteers, followed by the Blue Devils and the Huskies. That Duke and UConn game will be their first meeting in the NCAA tournament since the Final Four game that they played in San Antonio back in 2004. That UConn won on their way to winning the championship. They, of course, beat Duke in the championship game in St. Petersburg in 1999. Duke beating St. John's last night. Tremendous game, 80-75, and UConn, after jumping out to a very early 19-point lead, held on to beat Michigan State by 4. Double-digit margins of victory in the Chicago games last night. Michigan over Alabama by 13, Tennessee by 14 over Iowa State. But here in Houston, it has been Iowa leading the entire way, but Illinois filling up their rearview mirrors, erasing an early 10-point deficit. Now it's down to 1. Illinois has not led so far in this half. Both teams still shooting at or above 50%. Iowa's at 53% from the field. Illinois is at 50%. Big difference has been three-point shooting. The Hawkeyes have hit 5 threes. Illinois has only hit 1. And as we anticipated, Illinois with a big advantage on the glass. They're out-rebounding Iowa 14-6. Again, it is Purdue and Arizona that will follow this game. The West Regional Final scheduled tip-off is 8:49 p.m. Eastern Time. And we hope the 11-minute delay earlier in this game caused by the horn malfunction will not cause the finish of this game to bleed into the start of that game. Of course, that game will be here on this channel as well, and if it does bleed into the start, we will figure that out for you. Bennett Sturtz has 15 of Iowa's 27 points. Those 15 points, the most he's scored in any first half of a game this season. Illinois inbounds, and up the floor they come looking for their first lead of this game. And Keaton Wagler off the head of the arc takes a Tomislava Visic screen. Wagler in from the left, just keeps going to the rim, lays it up, it won't go. Tap follow wouldn't go either for Merkovich, and Iowa secures the rebound. They hold on to the lead. Now they look to extend it. Into the front court is Sturtz, who has been the straw to stir the drink tonight. Sturtz the stirrer. Up top, drifts to his left, feeds the corner, gets it back on a quick return from Koch. High screen, Manuel. Sturtz along the arc to his right, looking for space, given none by Stojakovic. Top of the circle, Manuel. Up top, Tate Sage, up for 3 straight away, and he splashes it down. A 6th three-point shot of this first half for the Hawkeyes, that time by Tate Sage, a 38% three-point shooter. They're 6 of 12 from the outside. Iowa ball again. Wagler up top. Screen comes Merkovich. He fades to his right. Wagler can't get it to him. Instead, it's Humrickhouse. Now Merkovich from straight away. A return for Wagler. Koch staying with him defensively. Wagler hits the accelerator. Goes to the rim. Layup blocked by Cooper Koch, who stayed with him every step of the way. And the freshman from Peoria, Illinois, with the rejection. A harsh one, as he spiked it down. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Illinois, but the shot clock at just 5, so they'll have to operate quickly off the trigger end. Wagler giving the ball in front of him with arms outstretched. Howard inbound to the foul line, and Stojakovic trying to go up and make a contested catch against Sturtz, who knocked it away, but they call a foul on Sturtz, and that will put Illinois at the line as they are in the bonus. It's really good defense there by Sturtz, but he just got him elbow to elbow there. Really good play to make that a contested catch. Just a slight bit of contact, but enough to get the foul. And Stojakovic to the free throw line. Not a lot of free throws taken in this first half by either team. And the first one is good from Stojakovic. In fact, Iowa's only taken 2 free throws. This next one from Stojakovic will be Illinois' 9th. 6 of 8 from the line so far, Illinois. Stojakovic, second free throw is good. A terrific season he has had after playing the start of his collegiate career out west. First at Stanford 2 seasons ago, then last year at Stanford's great rival, Cal, where he scored 18 points per game. That last foul on Sturtz was his second. He, Combs, and Sage each have 2 fouls for an Iowa team that doesn't have a lot of depth, certainly not as much as Illinois has. And Sturtz with the 2 fouls is of course, the most pivotal. Here's Sage driving down the middle, and on the move, he tried to kick it into the corner on the far side. No one was there. That's out of bounds, an Iowa turnover. Their 6th of the half, and once again, Illinois will come up the floor with a chance to take the lead. They could tie it as well. 2-point Iowa lead, 2 minutes to go, first half. Into the front court is Wagler, left-handed dribble, hard screen from Boswell. Off to the left wing is Wagler, drifts right. Fans it off the left wing. Tomislav Ivicic shoveled it back. Wagler on the drive. Hits the brakes. High post right. Back out to Ivicic. The return for Wagler nearly got stolen by Sturts. Wagler looks for space. Shoots a step back right wing three. It misses. Merkovich can't hit the tip back. Glass and rim miss on the follow. And Tate Sage secures a defensive rebound for Iowa. Any defensive rebound that Iowa can claim feels like an enormous play in this game, because of Illinois' ability to get offensive rebounds. 13 offensive rebounds a game. That's 20th most in the country for Illinois. Iowa ball with under 10 to shoot. Off right wing, Maniau behind the back. He leaves it for Sage. Back in Maniau, and he whips it out of bounds. Another turnover on a pass to that same corner. Koch couldn't secure it. Pass was behind him. That's now 7 Iowa turnovers. Illinois has scored 7 points off the previous 6. Inbound will come far side front court. Merkovich gets it in for Boswell. Slowly dribbles across the timing line. Left-handed dribble, Sturts defending, and he's got to defend hard without fouling because, again, he just got his second a moment ago. Now Koch switches on to Boswell, who swings it left, and he finds an open Tomislav Ivicic, whose 3 was a line driver that skips around the rim and misses. Rebound is out of bounds, and it's last off Iowa. It'll stay with Illinois. 56 to go in this first half. So Illinois keeps possession. Shot clock recycles to 20. Boswell will look to get it in. Sturts defending the inbound. He has not come out of this game yet, Sturts. And again, 38 minutes a game he plays, most in all of the Big Ten. Of course, that's pretty close to most in the country. Wagler, ball reversal, off left wing. Merkovich fakes a 3. Drives inside, gets to the rim, scoops it up off glass with the left hand. It would not fall. And another defensive rebound for the Hawkeyes. Sturts, diagonals across court, feed in transition. Sage lost it, recovered by Maniau. Now Sturts loops it inside into the paint. Maniau with a catch on his way to the rim, and he lays it in. It was a bit of a broken play after an Illinois player had fallen going for a steal out near midcourt. They had a power play of sorts, did Iowa. Timeout taken here by Ben McCullum. 29 seconds left in the first half, and Iowa takes a 4-point lead with a basket there by Cam Maniau, another one of the Ben McCollum followers that came over from Drake last season. He was only at Drake the one season. Prior to that, he was at Wyoming. And Maniau, who's only been averaging 4 points per game in this tournament, 2 right there on a big basket towards the end of the half to extend the lead. We'll have our man JT joining us behind the scenes here at halftime once we get to the end of the half, which is only few seconds of game time away. Again, an 11-minute delay earlier in this game due to a buzzer malfunction as the horn just blared and could not be stopped. And now they have apparently disconnected something behind the scenes, because it's taken the buzzer out of play, but it's also blackened and blankened the big screen over top of the Toyota Center. And over at the scorer's table, there is a gentleman working with an air horn manually when the buzzer needs to be sounded, which it will need to be sounded here at the end of this possession when the first half comes to a close. Fun first half this has been between an Illinois team that is now 27-8 on the season, Iowa at 24-12. Teams that were separated by 5 positions and 5 games in the regular season Big Ten standings. They met once earlier in the year. That was on Iowa's home floor. A 75-69 win for Illinois. Keaton Wagler had 19, Kylan Boswell 17, Andrei Stojakovic 17 points in that game. 3 Illini players scored in double figures. 4 Hawkeyes scored in double figures in that one as well. Again, Illinois has not led in this first half. 29 seconds to go in the half. Shot clock is off. Bennett Sturtz is off the court. They don't want to risk him picking up his 3rd foul on defense right at the end of the half. But again, Ben McCollum also just used his use it or lose it timeout. So if they were to get a stop here with time left, they can't call a timeout to get Sturtz back on for offense at the other end. Iowa's going to press here full court as Stojakovic gets the ball inbounded to Humrichhaus. Humrichhaus dribbling slowly ahead with Tate Sage on him defensively. Humrichhaus across midcourt with only a second to spare before a 10-second violation. Bounce pass on the March Madness logo comes to Wagler. Wagler's got 15 seconds to go in the first half. Under a hunkered stance, right-handed dribble. He looks to his left. He hands it for Mirkovic. The return for Wagler with 5 to go in the half. Wagler spins his way to the left elbow. Wants to lean in for a jumper. Oh, and he's called for a travel with a second to go. Wagler looked like he was trying to lean into contact to get a whistle. It never came, and then he never released the shot. Great defending by Isaiah Howard. And Wagler's called for the travel. 2.5 to go. And Iowa with a chance to get a shot off before the half comes to an end. It'll be Koch who will trigger it in. Koch to trigger near side backcourt. See who he gets it into. It's into Sage, who releases from midcourt, and it's off the top of the backboard, and that ends the first half. Iowa led the entire way in that first half, and they lead at the break 32-28. The hot shooting start for the Hawkeyes comes through, and they've got a halftime lead as the decided underdogs tonight against Illinois. 32-28, Hawkeyes out in front in the South Regional Final in Houston. Let's give you some first half figures. Iowa shot 57% from the field. Illinois ended up just shooting 37% from the field. From three-point range, big difference here. Illinois was 1 of 8. Iowa was 6 of 12 from 3. Not a ton of free throw shot either way. Illinois was 7 of 9 from the line. Iowa made the only 2 that they attempted. As we envisioned, Illinois with a huge advantage on the glass, a 2-to-1 ratio. They out-rebounded Iowa 18-9, 10 offensive rebounds for Illinois. Iowa with only 1. Turnovers were even at 7 apiece. Points in the paint. Illinois with an expected lead there, 16-10. Iowa's largest lead was 10 points, and their halftime lead is 4 in a first half in which Iowa never trailed and led for 96% of it. So the third-seeded Illini, the favorites in this game, failing to lead at any point in the first half, and they trail at the break by 4 in the South Regional Final. So halftime of our first regional final, and JT gets set to join us from behind the scenes here. Another busy day for JT, as it always seems to be. But hello, how are you, JT?
Hello, I am busy. I have just got back from cars beating up each other. And I'm now here to watch Buzzers buzz, I guess. And I'm also here ready to get Loco, as the Loco Beach Coconuts are currently playing against the party animals.
That was a very painful 11-minute delay because of the horn malfunction.
11 minutes?
Yes. Was not fun.
Are we now in half-time?
We are indeed.
Nice. I'm going to share my screen so you can see what shenanigans I'm getting up to.
Click the right
Okay.
buttons. Thank you. Oh, I see. I see
Yes.
what he is getting up to. I'm gonna
I have made a new. Well, I am in the process of making a new rally course.
Oh, he's okay. Very good. Let me reset the scoreboard. I'm not used to doing that anymore. Resetting the scoreboard at halftime.
I need to. It might be a good idea if I get the logos for the scoreboard, so I'm ready to take over.
Well, you don't have to take over. You're a quite busy person right now building a rally course.
You could say that. I'm assuming it's the NCAA tournament regional final one. There we go. Look at that.
With much bigger text, which I do enjoy. I am a fan.
Yeah.
We worked with that last night.
Might be a good idea if I put the word logo in my search bracket. Ah, of course it's an SVG document. We love SVG documents different to Shane Van Gisbergen.
Who qualified 5th for the Cup race at Martinsville tomorrow.
Ah, did he?
Great qualifying
I
run.
I did see someone put SVG. I think it was Adam who put SVG as his picker winner. I think.
Wow. Look at him go.
He might have got somewhere there.
Might have.
But then again, it is Martinsville, so we shall see.
Road course drivers have had good success at Martinsville. I'll stop short of having great success, but road course, good road course drivers have had good success at Martinsville in the past. AJ Allmendinger has run well there. Juan Pablo Montoya has run well there, and when he ran in NASCAR. So, yeah.
Matthew.
Now, who's going to win MotoGP tomorrow, in your opinion, JT?
Right.
Because I need to put in a pick a winner, and I don't know.
Do not listen to JB. JB has given me who I should pick for pick a winner this week. The person he told me to pick for the sprint race finished 3rd. So don't listen to JB, whoever you pick. However, I have gone for Marc Marquez.
Well, I'll stick
but then
with
again,
Marquez.
that was JB's pick as well.
Oh, well, okay then.
You can take that with a pinch of salt.
Well, 3rd isn't bad. I'll roll with Marquez to go along with Palou and Hamlin. Look at.
Do you want to see some?
Look at
Do you want to see some shenanigans?
Look at these
Matthew?
college basketball logos on JT's computer screen. I bet you would have never guessed you would have these logos at any time in your life on your computer.
This happened tonight, Matthew.
Well, again, here's another oval. Oh my lord, I swear the way those cars just took off, it looked like AI. That's how kooky that crash was. Is it looked like AI.
And then this was where I was.
Another oval race where you're turning right. Oh my goodness, and just ramming into a Domino's delivery driver.
And then, of course, the guys that don't know that they are racing in a non-contact race. With these ones.
What kind of race is that?
These were junior rods. So these were 11 to 16-year-olds not understanding how to race. I did not say that.
By the way, JT, now that you are on here for halftime, are you ready for your favorite segment ever, which is, of course, JT Waffles? Because dogs would like to be fed. Normally fed at 6. It is now past 7. They would like to be fed. They're very angry at me at the current moment.
Not want angry dogs.
So we'll let JT waffle. I don't care about what. I truly don't. He might do play-by-play of him setting up his stream deck, actually. It's what he might just do. I will mute my mic so you don't hear all of the dog noise.
Play-by-play of me setting up my stream deck, or play-by-play of people dancing on the sidelines of a banana ball game? I don't know what is happening, but all I know is that I need to click tons of buttons so that I am able to take over scoreboarding duties, which Matthew I know is a great, great relief because doing play by play and doing scoreboard is not the most fun. We've got an hour and 48 minutes left on the banana ball, and so that's just started. Go to the play, and nah. Party animals, walk off the first inning. Nice. Uh, I need the Illinois logo. There we go. This is peak JT fill time. This is peak JT Waffle House. Welcome to the Waffle House. I would be able to tell you how much time we have left until the start of the second half, but the massive board in the middle of the arena has been turned off. Don't know why. Maybe that's where the buzzer issues were. But we don't have buzzer issues here, I can tell you that for a fact, because I have the button right here. I'm not going to press it yet. Alright, for anyone who wanted to know, the Stream Deck is now set up. So, good to see. I see that the Arca East series is just about to get underway, and I see that Matthew Owens has put his pick a winner guesses in. If you wanted to know, he went for Palo, Hamlin, and Mark Marquez. I don't even see Matthew in the top 10 yet. Anyway. Got the Formula 1 Japanese Grand Prix, and the clock's changing in around 2 hours time. Well, 2 hours and 40 minutes over here in the UK. I wonder what will happen. Will my skybox reset at 2:46? Because it can't reset at 2:46 because the clocks will change. So will it reset at 3:46? Probably will be the case. If you want to know, I've just seen the announcers in the Banana Ball booth have Wheel of Fortune on the TV behind them. Don't ask me why. I personally do not know. But second inning back underway, just getting started there. Meanwhile, JT having the wonderful thing of setting up his new rally course that he's doing in BMNG, because, well, you love to see it. There we go, look at that. We are... I can't see a clock in the arena, but I can see one in the far distance, but it's too far away for me to work out what it is. But we are on single digits of minutes, so we are within 10 minutes of getting this second half underway. Let me
Here we go.
do something. Hello, I was just going to try and do something useful and look at the NCAA website, and then realise that this is the only game on at the moment because it's
Yes.
regional finals,
Yes.
and then I would go over to the women's side where there are no games on at the moment. Incredible, look at that.
Oh, that's great how that works, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Did wonder if they may shorten halftime because of that delay earlier, but it doesn't appear that they are.
I don't know whether to do fences here or do cones. I think I'm going to stay with fences because if I cone this whole section, then that's going to be 1,000 cones.
It is, yes. You're right.
Because if we go over here,
So
I coned this bit, and it was already a lot of cones.
JT is taking over scoreboarding, so I can take it off of my stream deck now.
Yes, you can. I have changed the logos, and let me get my stream deck app up because that looks pretty good.
Yes.
Yes, just a yellow outline.
Very good.
We've got a specialty walk up. Incredible scenes. How fun was filling for 11 minutes, Matthew?
It was not fun. It was actually quite painful. Truthfully. Because there was almost nothing going on, and it was just the fact that I didn't know what was happening, because of course we have no game audio. To anyone that thinks we have game audio, we don't. So that did not make it easy either.
Yes, and I was not here to listen in behind the scenes.
Yes.
Apparently, one of the announcers has a backyard. Apparently, the Loco Beach Coconuts announcer has a backyard beach at his home.
What a legend.
I am assuming that is a joking part of Loco Beach Coconuts lore. While you were away, they had one of the field cameras look up the stands to the announcer's booth. And I saw on the TV in their back corner, they had the Wheel of Fortune on.
Of course they did. Why wouldn't you have the Wheel of Fortune on? It's just not the same without Pat Sajak. Just like Jeopardy's not the same without Alex Trebek. It's very sad. Very sad.
Matthew?
Yes, JT.
Do you want a demo run of this course at the moment?
Of course I do.
I see you are sharing your screen.
Yes, I'm waiting to see if it works with this channel because sometimes it'll work for the ads, but for nothing more, which is quite convenient.
I can already see it lagging, so I'm turning off my camera. Here we go.
He's off. It's time to drop the hammer. In the Nomi, not Omi, but Nomi, at the Hirochi Dragway, was that? Wow, and he's absolutely... destroyed his car! Wow, he made an absolute mess of the hairpin. It looked like he had recovered, but clumsily, he's gone nearly head-on into an attenuator. And the window net is not down, because there's not a window net in that car, but a door has not... Oh, yes, there is. The window net is not down, a door is not open, and we're unsure of the condition of the driver. And I can
Hold on, let me...
And I can see that you will not have my pictures, because what I feared was correct. Yay.
Let me just reset it real quick. And then what I'll do is I'll do the wonder of record my game footage via the O to the B to the S. I bet you've never heard OBS called that before.
You know, I sure haven't.
Well, I am upside down.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd.
I can tell you why that was as well.
Oh, I know you
but-
can. Actually, sun's starting to set, getting a bit dark here, so I need to turn on an extra light so I don't look like I'm in the darkness when we come back on camera.
Okay. Matthew, are you ready?
Of course I am. No,
Here we
we'll
go.
stop sharing my screen because it's pointless. And it's time to drop the hammer part 2. See if he can take this hairpin a little bit cleaner than he did earlier. Oh, the breaking point's there. A little bit of oversteer. Now it's not only a hairpin, but now you cut back onto the piece of road that you were just on. This is a very strange circuit indeed. Now there's a... wow, I thought that was a chicane. No, it's not. You just basically make a U-turn into the valley. And now through the trees, there looks to be a... I don't know. A porter-john or something right there. Here's now a very heavy left-hander and a yield sign. You should yield. Sweeping left-hander. And quick. Oh, my good Lord in heaven. You just about have to come to a halt to get through that chicane. Now downhill through a kid's park by the looks of it. All the way to the right. Off Camber Corner this. Grass and trees line to the left and to the right. Heavy braking here. Another porter potty. Heavy braking left. And now sand on the perimeter of the course. You could not be harder on the brakes for this right-hander. Holy smokes, a 90-degree left-hander. On now to city streets we go.
That was close.
Yeah, it was close. He is driving on the wrong side of the road if you're in America. He's gone wide. He's steadied the car. We're about to get ready for the start of the second half. And now he's hugging the grass. Loses the rear just a tick. Slings it from side to side. Hard on the brakes right here because he knows a left-hander is coming. He's kept it on the road. Ooh, he's hit that tire pack. It's just offset it a bit. Now he's smoking. That left-hander is diabolical.
I have killed the steering.
Well, that's a fast right.
Oh.
And no, you're not making that. Well, whoever made that corner. Wow.
I would have made it if I didn't wreck my steering. Anyway.
Story as old as time. All
I'm
right.
assuming that your TV pictures are a mile behind mine.
Well, I don't know because I'm not seeing yours.
Oh, apologies.
Second half to start as it's Iowa and Illinois for a trip to the Final Four. And Iowa inbounds to start the second half in their black uniforms, gold numbers and trim, and they get it on the inside straight away, and Banks couldn't hit the runner off of him rebounding, a missed 3 from Cooper Koch, and now Illinois has possession of the ball with Kylan Boswell. Swings it to his left, Wagler, back for Boswell. High screen of Isic. Boswell skips to his right. Entry feed to Mirkovic on the right baseline. Tries to bound his way in. Plays it back to the perimeter. Tomislav Isic lobs it inside. Tough catch by Mirkovic, who goes up strong, and he scores. Plus a foul. So Mirkovic,
Are we?
yeah, he has tied it with that Shot underneath, and now he can give Illinois their first lead of the night as he heads to the free throw line.
Are we off my pictures now?
We are.
Awesome.
So Mirkovic with the and one, and his free throw is good, and for the first time tonight, Illinois leads this South Regional Final. And on the inbounds pass, Boswell trying to steal it, nearly did. Foul is called as the inbound came from Sturts, and Boswell thought he had a clean steal. Instead, he's called for a reach-in foul. So Iowa will inbound, and Illinois is going to put bodies in the backcourt here. Try to press things. So Illinois, who trailed earlier by 10, now with a 1-point lead. Inbound pretty much breaks the press as it was a lengthy looping throw-in for Banks. Now it's brought up by Bennett Sturts, who had 15 points in that first half. Given to Combs. Centered ball for Maniau, and we've got a whistle and a foul away from the ball against Illinois. As I mentioned, 15 from Sturts. Most points he had scored in a first half of any game this season. Inbound from underneath, looped out towards midcourt. Maniau catches and then gives for Sturts. Sturts on the edge of the March Madness logo. Pump fakes on a pass to his left, now directs it that way for Combs. Back for Sturts. Shot clock down to 7. Feeds it off the right wing for Koch, who dribbles to the foul line. He needs to do something with it. He gives it up at the head of the key, and a three is launched from straight away, and somehow it's made by Tavion Banks. Banks knocks it in from the head of the key with the shot clock winding down. That was a terrible possession. It ends up in 3 points, and Iowa reclaims the lead. Chicken salad right there at the other end. Mirkovic put his head down on a drive, and he's contacted and fouled by Banks. That possession was going nowhere, and Banks forced to heave it up, and he hit it pure. Nothing but the net. 35-33. Illinois on the inbound far side front court already. 2 fouls on each team here through just the first 2 minutes and change of the half. Wagler on the inside. Fadeaway jumper. Glass and rim miss. Rebound snapped away by Maniau in Iowa. Here come the Hawkeyes up the floor. Combs swings it wing to wing. This way for Sturts. Out for a screen, Banks. Sturts backs up. Gets a running head start, threads it for Banks, high post left, turns his back to his defender, across the lane, a bounce for Maniau, who drifts to the corner, return for Sturts, another late shot clock, they've been doing it all game. Sturts feeds it up top and free to fire again from 3 is Banks, he missed it this time. Rebound cleared away by Illinois' Jake Davis. Here comes the Illini, 3 minutes gone in this second half. Trailing by 2 after briefly claiming their first lead of the night. Boswell gets it to Wagler, Wagler off right wing. Defended on the outside by Koch. Centered ball for Boswell, who takes a screen, slashes, swings it up top. Tomislava Visic nails a 3 from straight away, and Illinois reclaims the lead. As now we go back and forth and toggle the lead. Cooper Koch at the other end tried to put his head down and start an acceleration, and Davis got in his way and is called for the foul. Tomislava Visic with just Illinois' second 3 of the game. Gives the Illini the lead. Inbound will come near side front court. Koch looking to get it in. Puts it in into the near left corner. Gets it back on a return from Sage. Now it's Combs, the junior from Missouri. Swings it to his right. Sturts is on it. Shapes a pass off left wing. Sage again. Kicks it out to the right wing, and Koch catches and knocks down a 3, and that's his specialty. The freshman from Peoria, 73% of his field goal attempts on the season have come from 3. Knocks that one in, and Iowa reclaims the lead one more time. Wagler hits the spin button, works inside. Lefty layup, high off the glass is good, plus a foul. Wagler's got a chance at a three-point play to put Illinois right back in front. How about that soft touch high off window?
And of course, that had to happen at 16 minutes and 1 second, so we have to play again before we can hit the media
Right.
timeout.
Foul is on Combs. 3 team fouls on both clubs in just 4 minutes to start this second half. And remember, fouls are starting to rack up in Iowa in the first half. Wagler hits the and one. 39-38. Second meeting of the year between these conference opponents. Illinois won on the road in Iowa City by 6 back in January. Here's Bennett Sturtz in off the right, swings it up top, wide open is Howard. He fakes a three, doesn't take it. Back for Sturtz, curling off a screen. Stojakovic stays on him, given to the top of the circle, Manyow. Back it goes for Sturtz again. He tries to get free, launches a right wing three. It's wide right. Rebound claim, double-handed by Merkovich. Outletted forward, Humrichhaus to Stojakovic. Stojakovic diagonals into the rim, layup blocked by Koch. Squeezed by Manyow on the rebound. Sturtz ahead. Iowa in transition. Illinois gets back. Sturtz behind a screen. Accelerates in the lane. Gets free. Step back jumper from 10 feet away. Missed off back rim. Wagler there for the rebound. Illinois ball. Wagler brings it up. Outside left. Out for a screen comes Tomislava Visic. He supplies one, he supplies two. Wagler lost his footing, he fell down, and they're trying to tie him up with Howard. He does. Possession arrow will keep it with Illinois. Leads to a timeout with 15 minutes and a second on the clock. Illinois with a 39-38 lead. And now this, each passing minute, looks more and more like a classic Big Ten scrum. Again, we're just over an hour now away from tip time for the West Regional Final between Arizona and Purdue. All 4 regional finals on this channel. Here this weekend, Arizona-Purdue will be called by Seth Eves, who will be joined by JT. Seth will join us here when he can, and he'll get in position to call the 1-2 matchup in the West. The Wildcats of Arizona, the Boilermakers of Purdue. Should be a tremendous game between the 1 and 2 seeds out in San Jose. So Illinois and Iowa toggling the lead back and forth amongst each other here after Iowa led the whole way in the first half. But Illinois has never been out of this game. It wasn't like last night where UConn bursted out to a 25-6 lead and was running away from UConn running away from Michigan State. It wasn't like that. It was 12-2 Iowa as they made 5 of their first 6 shots. But Illinois never seemed panicked and has been chipping away at that deficit ever since the start. And now here we are in, as I said, what feels like a Big Ten battle between these two Big Ten opponents. Again, they played on the Hawkeyes' home floor all the way back on January the 11th, 2.5 months ago. We know how college basketball seasons and college basketball teams, how much things change from November to January, and then January to March. So it's been almost, in college basketball terms, a lifetime since these two teams played. What an opportunity, though, for both of these head coaches, Brad Underwood and Ben McCullum. McCullum 18 years younger than Underwood, but both coaches going for a first ever trip to the Division I Final Four. Should clarify Division I Final Four, because McCullum, who was long time the head coach at Northwest Missouri State in the Division II ranks, 4-time national champion in the Division II level was McCullum as the head coach at Northwest Missouri State. He spent 15 seasons there, won a championship, A national championship, that is, in 4 of those 15. This is just his second year as a Division I college basketball head coach. Last year was his first year. It was at Drake. He went 31-4, made the NCAA tournament. They won a game in the tournament. Now at Iowa, he's a game away from the Final Four. Illinois inbounds. And out of the timeout, Davis launches a left arc three. It misses. Another offensive rebound underneath. Hooked back up by Stojakovic. He couldn't get it to drop. Rebound is out of bounds. It's going to stay with Illinois as Illinois just continues to rattle off offensive rebounds, as we knew they more than likely would in this game. Top 20 in the country in offensive rebounds. They have 12 in this one. Inbound to Stojakovic out of the left corner. Tries to muscle his way inside. Has to plop it back to the perimeter. Stojakovic with it again up top. He'll drive up the middle. Had it stripped and stolen by Isaiah Howard. In transition, a 2-on-1. Howard's going to take it to the rim himself. Banks it up. It's off the rim. No good, but he draws a foul. He was running a 2-on-1 with Banks, and Howard decided to keep it himself. And he'll go to the line. Iowa took only 2 free throws in the first half. Get a couple right here with Isaiah Howard out of Plattsburgh, Missouri. Mentioned earlier, one of 7 players on this Iowa roster that played under Ben McCullum at Drake last year that followed him to Iowa, and that first free throw leaks off the right side of the rim and misses for Howard. Not a guy that shoots a lot of free throws. When he does, 72%. Second free throw is up. A rainbow. It's good. We're tied at 39. 5.5 minutes gone in the second half. 2 Big Ten opponents battling in the Elite Eight for a spot in the Final Four. Neither has been there in a long time. Illinois, last time they were in the Final Four was 21 years ago. Iowa hasn't been there in over 40 years. As on the floor, a foul is called. Cooper Koch trying to stay in front of Tomislav Ivicic. Koch is called for the foul. Again, those fouls really racking up on both sides. 4 team fouls per team here in not yet 6 full minutes into the second half. Illinois on the trigger, and Wagler finds Merkovich, who bounces it inside. Ivicic, mid-post right, tries to back his way in. He does. Left-handed hook misses. He gets it back and scores on the putback. Offensive rebound number 13 in this game for Illinois, and Tomislav Ivicic on the second chance, able to knock it in from close range. They have 13 second chance points on 13 offensive rebounds. Nearly a turnover at the head of the key from Sage. He was able to somehow corral that wraparound behind the back pass by Sturts, who feeds the left wing this time. And Banks is open, so he'll launch a 3, and it's missed badly, too strong. Rebound is out of bounds. Who's it going to? It's going to stay with Iowa. Hawkeyes will keep it, as that'll go down as only the second offensive rebound of the game from Iowa, and it truly wasn't that. It was just out of bounds off of an Illinois player. Koch will inbound in a moment. First, Zvonimir Ivicic is going to come in for his twin brother, Tomislav. So Big Z is into the game. Inbound by Koch, near side front court. He's going to throw it all the way into the back court, and some 70 feet away from the basket. Sturts gets there on a back pedal, gets it forward and plays catch on the perimeter with Sage. Now directs it back for Koch on the right. Those two beyond the arc, passing it back and forth to each other, but now they've got to initiate offense. Timer at 5. Koch up for 3. Bangs it in! Off right wing, it's Koch, who was unable to hit a 3 in the first half. He's got 2 in the second half. Mentioned earlier, about 3/4 of his field goal attempts come from 3. He's a 3-point specialist. Wagler at the other end for Illinois, off a screen. He'll drive in. Oh, and he feeds it beautifully to a cutting Merkovich up the left baseline. And Merkovich lays it in. Illinois back in front by a point. 43-42. Tremendous action here in Houston in the South Regional Final. Left-handed dribble by Sturt, zigzags to his right, drives inside, taking on Stojakovic, spinning on the right elbow, and putting up a shot through contact. It's no good, but a foul called on Stojakovic, and Sturts will get to the free throw line as he balleted his way into the body of Stojakovic, faked a spin right, went left, leaned in, and got the contact. 2 free throws for Sturts. He's an 85% foul shooter, the senior from Liberty, Missouri. First free throw is good. Tied again at 43. And now for the lead, Sturts, an unsung superhero in college basketball. He has made so many big plays for Iowa all year long. He hits the second free throw, gives the Hawkeyes the lead back. 44-43. Wagler dribbles back up into the front court, directs it to his left. Mirkovic now Boswell, back around the horn. Davis right wing, loops a pass inside. Mirkovic, tough catch, backpedals his way to the rim, draws a foul on his way up. Mirkovic will shoot at the line. Actually, no, they will not call that in the act of shooting. That's a foul on the floor. 5th team foul against Iowa. Both teams are creeping towards the bonus here. We're not even 8 minutes in. Inbound from underneath Wagler. He'll loft it in outside right. Lassoed in by Mirkovic. Puts his head down. Shoulders his way inside. Kicks it back out. Zvonimir Ivicic. Now Davis up top. Wagler. Davis a screen. Wagler spin cycle. Steps back. He's wide open straight away for three. And he's got it! A beautiful step back from Wagler. Steps back and gives Illinois the lead back. Iowa ball at the other end of the floor. In the last 6.5 minutes, these two have traded the lead 9 times after not doing so a single time in the first half. Sturts down the middle, in the lane, gets a paint touch, shoots a fadeaway over Boswell, and he gets the bounce off the iron and in. We're even at 46. Boswell, right-handed hip-high dribble into the front court, some pressure around him, so he hands it off just inside the timing line. To Wagler between the rings. Davis sets a screen. Wagler shows it to Sturts. Screen comes Mirkovic. Wagler up for three. Off right wing, it misses. He fell down. There's a foul. Iowa thought they were going to have a transition break, but bodies ended up hitting the deck. And what's this foul going to be on? Because Wagler was down on the floor along with Banks. I'm not sure how they ended up on the floor. Wagler shot the three, fell to the ground. Banks then tripped over him, and we get a whistle that stops play at the under 12 media timeout. Dead even here between the 3 and 9 seeds in this South Regional Final, 46-46.
Matthew,
JT,
is that a little bit over the top and a little bit too aggressive?
you know, it might just be
very tight.
It might just be.
We are, viewers, we are talking about the BMG Valley map, by the way.
Of course we are. I mean, why
Yes.
wouldn't we be talking about that?
Hold on. Let me get the car. Oh, I unplugged my controller for TV pictures. Nice one.
By the way, the Colorado Rockies lost again today in Major League Baseball. If you want to know why that's important, I know that's very random, but if you want to know why that's important, JT, do you know? Wow, that card just got flipped randomly. JT, do you know how bad the Colorado Rockies are in Major League Baseball?
No, I do not.
They're extremely bad. They only won 43 games last year.
That was 162.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're likely not going to win more than about 50 this year, more than likely.
Yeah. Let's see how this tight section runs.
Here we go. Well, he's at full song right here, and my goodness. So just
That That power. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that.
No.
Okay.
Won't quite work. Just to finish off the story about the Rockies, a certain someone, and I won't tell you who the certain someone is, a certain someone has made the decision to bet against the Rockies every game this season. Just take whoever they're playing to win. And the Rockies have lost today,
Okay.
and they have started the season 0 for 2. The Marlins beat them yesterday, and they have beaten them
Af-
today.
After review, the call will stand, and shot clock will remain at 30.
So they were reviewing that last play to see if it should be upgraded to a flagrant. It was not. So Iowa inbounds, and nothing more than just a common foul on Wagler. Iowa can reclaim the lead on this trip. Sturtz has the ball in his hands. High screen from Koch. Sturtz off the left with Boswell defending. Gives it up to Koch off right wing. A return for Sturtz with the timer at 10. Sturtz jets to his right. Kicks into the corner. Three is launched and missed by Howard. Rebounded by Illinois. Here come the Illini with it again with Boswell. Into the front court. Left-handed dribble, protects the ball from the defending Howard. Now sprinting to his right, up the middle, Boswell gives it up on a bounce feed. Left wing Mirkovic into the corner, locates Wagler. Wagler has defenders all around him, so he sprays it back up top. Boswell, timer at 4. Boswell gives it up in the right corner. Zvonimir Ivicic, his three rims off. Sturtz finds the rebound. Here comes Iowa again. Sturtz with a diagonal feed in transition. Now he gets it back on a quick return from Combs. Now Combs has it again. Shovels it to the top of the key. Manyal fakes a handoff to Koch. Gives for Sturtz. Back for Koch. Rises with a left wing three. Missed it very badly. Wide left. Rebound taken by Mirkovic. Outletted for Wagler. Those two play catch and Mirkovic has it again. Into the offensive end of the floor for Illinois. Ball reversal up top. Wagler, hard drive, straight up the middle. A straight line drive to the rim, and Wagler lays it home. Off glass with the right. 48-46, Illinois recaptures the lead. Here's Sturtz across the timing line for the Hawkeyes. Boswell is the primary defender. Sturtz drifts wide to his right. Now he begins to sprint to his left. He takes a screen, gets to the elbow, steps back beyond the arc, doesn't shoot. Swings it up top. Wild pass was caught by Koch. Now Sturtz. Koch a high screen. Sturtz forces up a straight on three. Oh, wow! He bags it! That possession looked to be going nowhere, but Sturtz comes through and bullets a three. Iowa leads by 1, 49-48. 22 points for Bennett Sturtz. Right baseline drive at the other end. Mirkovic had to tightrope the baseline, kicks it up top. Wagler leans into a straight on three. Missed it too strong. Mirkovic gets another offensive rebound for Illinois. Nearly had it stripped, but a foul is called on Iowa's Isaiah Howard. Thought he saw an opportunity to strip the ball from Mirkovic. He nearly did it clean. Bennett Sturtz has not been talked about enough this season for what a playmaker he is. How important he is. He's one of the most valuable players in all of college basketball. The value that he brings to this Iowa team really cannot be quantified. Shot clock resets to 20 on that foul. Illinois will inbound from underneath. Boswell pops the pass to the right baseline that Mirkovic catches. Back to the basket. Going to try to back his way in on his defender. That's Banks. Whips it up top. Tomislav Ivicic. Return this way for Mirkovic. Hard dribble to the baseline. Now back up top. Three launch from right wing. Ivicic a miss off the heel. And in the scrap for the rebound, Iowa thought they had it, but a foul is called. Banks contacted Mirkovic. And the foul is on Banks. And that now has put both teams in the bonus for the last 8:39 of this game. As that's the 7th team foul on Iowa. Free throws coming up for Mirkovic. Mirkovic, who's been grinding away down low He scooped up 12 rebounds in this game. Mentioned earlier, he averages 8 rebounds a game. He's averaged nearly 11 rebounds per pop in this tournament. Now he's got to get it done at the foul line. 76% for the season. This is 1-1. 2 dribbles of the ball, bend to the knees, free throw up. It's no good off the back of the rim. Rebound is grabbed through traffic by Banks. It's a huge defensive rebound for Iowa off an empty Illinois possession. Sturts is across midcourt, feeds it to his right. Manyow back for Sturts, threaded back. Manyow dribbles inside the foul line, hits the brakes 10 feet away, pivots and swirls it back outside. Combs off right wing, Manyow a screen. Give it up once again to Banks, who feeds Sturts, curling in for Banks, who goes up, and he had the ball grabbed away. That's, I think, a held ball, so Illinois is going to have it on the arrow. The official signaled Iowa ball, but the possession arrow belongs to Illinois. Banks went up. Merkovich stonewalled him. Now they're saying it's Iowa ball. Possession arrow must be wrong. Only 4 to shoot. Inbound in the right corner. Gonna have to get a shot off quickly. It's a force off right wing that comes up empty from Koch. It didn't hit anything. Shot clock violation and a turnover. And it'll go back to Illinois. So Illinois to inbound. And a chance to retake the lead as Wagler will slowly dribble it up the floor. That turnover by Iowa, their first of this half. Wagler handles the ball. On the March Madness logo at midcourt. High screen Stojakovic. Wagler slips it into the right corner for Tomislava Visic. Back to Wagler up top. Now at the head of the key, Stojakovic dribble drive inside through traffic. Banks it up, and it goes. Back in front goes the Illini on the driving layup by Stojakovic. He's got a dozen as he's in double figures yet again in this tournament. At the other end, Sturts sees a hole, flashes to the rim, layup won't go, but there's a foul. Put back does not count from Banks. Foul was first, and Sturts will have free throws. Timeout on the floor with 7:27 left in regulation time. A 1-point game in the South Regional Final. A trip to Indianapolis, and the Final Four is on the line. By the way, JT, just so we get this to the public, in case we hadn't, I can't even remember at this point if we have said this or not, they have adjusted the tip time of the Arizona-Purdue game because of the delay in this game. Arizona-Purdue, which was scheduled to tip off at 8:49, will now tip off at 8:59 p.m. Eastern Time, just in case this game were to go long or into overtime. They don't want the end of this game bleeding into the start of the next game. Obviously, we have simultaneous games going on for most of this tournament, but they don't want it happening in the regional finals, of course, so they have moved back that tip time by 10 minutes. Good call by the NCAA and the folks in San Jose. JT, still having fun.
I'm just testing the angle of this corner again. Yeah, that's better. I just need to add a massive tire wall or see if I can delete this light because cars are going to go into this. Oh, look at that. It was never there. It was never there.
Oh, dear. What a game this has turned out to be. And what a run in this tournament Iowa has turned out to have. Who would have thought that the 9th-seeded Hawkeyes would go on a run like this? Next to no one gave them much of a chance in the second round against the national champions from last year, Florida. What a thrilling finish to that game, and a win over the Gators that very well could completely change the complexion of this Iowa program going forward under Ben McCollum. Now with a chance to change the complexion of the program on an even higher level if they could get to the Final Four. Again, the last time Iowa made a Final Four, Lute Olson, the great Lute Olson, was their coach. 46 years ago, is out of the timeout. Sturtz knocks down the first free throw to tie this game at 50. Both teams, as you can see, in the bonus. And Sturtz has now given Iowa the lead. Perfect on both free throws for Iowa's leading scorer at just a smidge under 20 points per game for the year, 16 a game for the tournament, 20 points on Thursday in the win over Nebraska to get them to the Elite Eight for the first time since '87. At the other end, Merkovich gets fouled on the floor, a bump by Koch. But again, with both teams over the limit, free throws are coming for Merkovich. It'll be 1-1. Eighth team foul on Iowa, so they're only a couple away from Illinois being in the double bonus. Again, Merkovich at the line. He missed the front end of a 1-1 last time he was here. That was only a couple of minutes ago. Here's the first free throw, and this one's good. We're tied again. Should we allow JT to call this next free throw? It's a big free throw, JT.
Up to you.
Go ahead. You love this.
Okay.
Two bounces of the ball. It's up, and it bounces off the front of the rim and bounces off the back of the glass, and in. Illinois have the lead.
Back to the lead go the Illini. Professionally called from JT at the foul line. And here comes Iowa back up the floor.
It really wasn't, but okay.
Combs and Koch play catch on the perimeter. Combs and Koch playing catch. Say that multiple times fast. Here's Combs on a drive. Slides his way into the paint, kicks it out. Sturtz gives it up. Banks feeds the left wing, and Combs is open, but his three misses. Rebound snagged by Avicic. Illinois with the ball and the lead now, with under 7 to play. Here come Wagler and the Illini. Wagler up top. Takes a screen from Merkovich, fades it to him, off left wing, takes a step inside the arc, backs it on Combs, bullets a pass underneath, good catch, and the hook shot by Tomislav Avicic, hung on the front of the rim and dropped down. 54-51, Illinois with a 3-point lead. Sturtz into the offensive end. Bounce pass to Banks. Back for Sturtz it goes. Banks a screen. Sturtz a feed. Koch on the return to Sturtz, who draws a double. Kicks it right. Banks drives in. Goes hard at Merkovich. Goes up strong. Banks it up. It won't go. And the rebound tapped by Avicic into the arms of Humrichhaus. Illinois 3-point lead and with the ball, and a chance to take what would be their largest lead of the game if they get points on this trip. Entry feed by Merkovich to Tomislav Avicic. Mid-post right, backs in, turns left. The hook is good! Illinois by 5, their largest lead of the night. Timeout, Iowa. And the interior presence of the Illini starting to impose their will as we get deeper and deeper towards the finish line.
The best part of a Banana Ball game is on your screen right now.
By the way, DMs JT. Twitter DMs, that is. Wow, the announcers are jumping around. Look at the announcers go! That'll be out of context. Wow, they are head banging. And there's the mascot. Is that a coconut? Is that a coconut dancing? Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This is the coconuts you said, correct?
Yeah.
And where are
Wait.
they from again?
Hold on. I am. Why is it not plugging in? There you go. Hold on.
Oh my gosh. Should I be worried about you and Seth being only you two for Arizona Purdue?
Well, speak of the devil when he showered here. Hello, Sammy.
Wow, talk about perfect timing. Wow.
For
Well,
God's sake, I was on the damn thing for 3 seconds and he said hello. He is unreal. My God. Matthew, let me ask you a question here, Matthew, regarding this. And JT, and all the other soccer fans have people like this that they will talk badly about. Well, it's my turn now. Our version of Taylor or Clattenburg. Matthew, who is the worst official in college basketball, and why is it Tony Padilla?
well,
I'm sorry, but maybe I'm biased because I've done a lot of Big 12 games the last few years, and he does a lot of Big 12 games, but goodness me.
Well, Illinois has gone on really their first extended run of the game. They're on a 10-5 run. Now, that's not that big of a run that we normally hear about, but let me talk to you about what's happened in that 10-5 run. Iowa on shots taken by anyone other than Bennett Sturts is 0 for 6 in that Illinois run. Sturts made a jumper to tie it at 46. He's only taken one shot since then. It was a 3 that he made, and Iowa brings the ball up the floor out of that timeout. This 5-point deficit is the largest they faced in this game, and here's Sturts passing out of a shot and throwing it away to Wagler, who's in transition. Iowa gets back, but Illinois has the ball with 5 minutes to go, leading by 5. Keaton Wagler dribbles along the arc to his left. Tate Sage defends. Sage has 4 fouls. He forces Wagler to backpedal. Screen from Merkovich. Wagler turns the corner in the lane. His floater is good! Illinois up by 7, extending their largest lead of the game. And Iowa starting to get into danger territory. Sturts bounced a pass into the lane. Maniau back outside. Sturts spins, pivots, hands it off. Howard tries to work his way inside, draws a foul on the floor. A bump by Tomislav Ivicic. As you can see, both teams are in the bonus, so free throws coming for Iowa. These will be big free throws. All free throws down the stretch here will be big free throws. The Hawkeyes tonight from the foul line are 7 of 8. Tomislav Ivicic to the bench. He gets a breather. Iowa shot 53% in the first half. They're now at just 45% for the game as that first free throw from Howard uses every bit of the orange rim to our left to go down. One more now for Howard, who doesn't do a lot of scoring. 5 points per game in the regular season. That last free throw was only his 4th point of the tournament. He misses the second free throw, and Iowa gets an offensive rebound. Their second of the game. Strong drive inside. Sage missed, and the rebound brought down by Humrickhouse. Oh my goodness, only their second offensive rebound of the game, and they could not come up with second chance points. Merkovich, head fake, drive, lob, and a slam! Big Z with a big finish. Zvonimir Ivicic pushes the Illinois lead to 8. Timeout, Iowa again. 4:06 left, and Illinois starting to take control. And just the size of Illinois imposing their will the further this game goes on against an Iowa team that's struggling to get stops and struggling to not foul. Fouls are adding up, and the lack of stops is what's adding up the most here. Arizona and Purdue, the top 2 seeds in the West, will duel for a spot in the Final Four. Again, that tip time moved back to 8:59 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:59 local. That because of an 11-minute delay in the first half of this game due to a buzzer malfunction at the Toyota Center in Houston. Delayed the game for 11 minutes, so we've pushed the tip time back of Purdue and Arizona. It's been moved back by 10 minutes. Seth Eves will have the call there. JT will be punching all the buttons. And by the end of the night, half of the Final Four field will be set.
Now, Matt, this is for both of you. I have a question. You know how Matthew was last week in Philadelphia? JT, why didn't you start the clock? JT, we know you love pressing the buzzer, but did you really have to hold on to it for 11 minutes?
I was in the car on the way back from Ringwood. I was not able to press the buzzer button, so it was one of my colleagues.
Yes. Yes.
One of those colleagues in Houston.
Clearly. Yes, because as we know, JT's got his boys down there in Houston.
Houston most certainly had a problem.
Yes.
Of course, big Owens rocket launched in April.
DJ Carstensen, Michael Greenstein, and Joe Lindsay are the officials for tonight's game. That's just I mean, everybody, Matthew included, and me to a small degree, so high on Arizona. I get it, but man, that's gonna be a freaking chess match coming up here with Arizona and Purdue.
It's gonna be a slug show, that's for sure. Illinois fans starting to feel as if they have the Final Four in their sights. We opened up the show tonight by saying one of these teams is trying to break a long Final Four drought. The other team is trying to break a multi-generation long Final Four drought. Illinois has not been there in 21 years. Iowa's last Final Four trip, they were coached by Lute Olson in 1980.
JT was negative 28 or whatever.
Yes, of course. Illinois has outscored Iowa 36-12 in the paint in this game, a 3-to-1 ratio, 20-2 in the paint in the second half. Iowa inbounds far side backcourt. They get it up quickly as we approach the final 4 minutes. A final 4 minutes in Houston to determine a Final Four spot in Indianapolis. Bennett Sturtz, who stirs the drink for Iowa, has it here. He cycles, he bounces inside. A kick to the left corner, and a big three is down! Isaiah Howard on the spoon feed by Banks. Boy, did they need that in the worst possible way. 5-point game. Ben McCollum has taken timeouts quickly here down the last couple of minutes. So as you can see on your screen, just one timeout left for Iowa. Wagler into the front court. He slashes to his left. Illinois got 3 timeouts remaining. Both teams single bonus. Screen taken by Wagler up top from Big Z. Swings the ball into the left corner. Baseline drive. Stojakovic scores plus a foul. He just continues to make enormous plays time and time again. Son of a long-time professional in the NBA. Trying to make his name known in the college ranks, and he certainly did a lot of scoring in his years, well, his 1 year at Stanford, then his 1 year at Cal. Not doing as much scoring at Illinois, but he's certainly on a much larger stage. And a chance to complete this 3-point play to push the lead to 8, and he does. Stojakovic with a 3-point play negates the 3-point shot on the other end from Howard. Iowa into the front court with Sturtz. They must play a perfect game on offense from here on out. Sturt's top of the arc, slashes, steps back, can't get off a three. Feeds it right, gets it on a quick return from Sage. Sage out of the right corner, testing the baseline, tried to thread a bounce pass inside. It was knocked away. Sage ends up on the deck. Contact came from Markovic. And Markovic is called for the foul. It'll be free throws for Tate Sage. And it will be big free throws for a guy that shoots less than 70% from the line on the season. Freshman from Weatherford, Oklahoma will shoot some of the biggest free throws of his life right here. Had perhaps the biggest game of his life on Thursday. Scored 19 points against Nebraska. First free throw is good. That 19 points against Nebraska on Thursday was his highest point total all season long. One more for Sage. Bends the knees, flicks the wrist. Free throw is good. The margin is 6 with under 3 minutes to play. Markovic will look to throw it in. He does. Into the arms of Humrickhouse. The return comes from Markovic, who's been a rebounding machine in this game, as he so often is for this Illinois team. He dribbles into the front court this time rather than Wagler. Wagler sets a high screen. Now Markovic reverses it to him. Wagler turns the corner. He gets to the right elbow. He'll backpedal to the perimeter to work some more clock. The timer at 10. Wagler behind a screen. Flips it over the shoulder. Top of the key. Markovic fakes the three. Feeds it left. In the corner. 3 up. Humrickhouse no. Fight for the rebound. Illinois got another offensive board. Stojakovic up top. Markovic for 3. Spins off. Rebound Iowa. Manuel the outlet. Sturts brings it up. They need a basket. Sturts hits the accelerator. Comes back outside. Reverses up top. It's Sage on the deck. Right elbow. Back outside. Sturts again. For a team that dominated the last 2 minutes on Thursday, Sturts up for 3. No! Offensive rebound. Sage back up, gets fouled. Oh my goodness. Iowa, a team that hasn't been able to get offensive rebounds all game. They've gotten a couple in the last few minutes, and Sage with a big one there. He'll go right back to the line and shoot 2 big ones. Iowa now in the double bonus, so is Illinois. Both teams will shoot 2 free throws on common fouls the rest of the way in these tense final 2 minutes. That foul was on Tomislava Visic. That is his 5th. He is done for the game. Tate Sage, just mentioned him a moment ago, shoots less than 70% from the free throw line for the season. He'll shoot 2 big ones here, as he'll try to cut this to a 4-point game if he can knock down both, as he just did a moment ago. Just the 3rd time this season that Tomislava Visic has fouled out. First free throw is good from Sage. One more. And the freshman knocks it in. How about the calm and collected freshman hitting 4 free throws in a row? Brings it down to a 4-point margin. Boswell brings it up before giving it on a handoff to Wagler. And Wagler, the Big Ten's freshman of the year, has it in the front court. Slashes to his left. Howard in his hip pocket defensively. Screen comes from Markovic. In the lane, Wagler, a looping pass. Deep catch by Stojakovic. And he elevates and scores again. 95 seconds left in a 6-point game. Spin cycle move by Sturts. He flashes in, driving layup off the back of the rim. No, another offensive rebound, but the putback would not go for Manuel. Rebound, Illinois. Wagler pressed in the backcourt by Koch, but he gets it forward across the timing line. And Illinois with a possible put-away possession right here. And a foul is called on Iowa. Oh, my goodness. Koch trying to stick with Wagler away from the ball, and Koch is called for a foul on the floor. And Boswell, or make that Wagler, will get 2 free throws to maybe get Illinois enough of a bulge here to get to the finish line. Wagler is a 79% foul shooter. He's got 1:12 left on the clock. 21 points for Wagler tonight. His 10th 20-point game of the season. He just kept on chipping away at it Thursday against Houston despite not shooting the ball well. He never gave up. Ended up with a double-double. 13 points and 12 rebounds. And the first free throw here is good. And the lead up to 7. Last time Illinois made a Final Four, it was one of the best teams in college basketball history that did not go on to win the national championship. Second free throw is good. Illinois leads by 8. Timeout taken with 1:12 on the clock. And you have to go back to that game in Rosemont, Illinois, 21 years ago, in the regional final in which Illinois trailed by double digits late to Arizona, made up 15 points in the last 4 minutes to secure one of the great comeback wins in the history of this tournament in overtime to knock off Arizona. The legendary Dick Enberg on the call of that game as he called Darren Williams playing 44 minutes and scoring 22 points and dishing 10 assists in that game. That great Illinois team with Williams and D. Brown and Luther Head knocking off what was such a strong Arizona team led by Channing Frye and Salim Stoudemire. That's the last time Illinois made a Final Four. Then you think that's a long drought. Iowa, it's been 46 years since they were in the Final Four with that Lute Olson-led team that got there in 1980. Led for the entire first half and has been toggling the lead back and forth with Illinois in the second half. But Illinois has imposed their will and their muscle here as this game has gone on later. Iowa inbounds, and they need a basket, and they need it quickly on this trip. Cale Combs kicks it out off right wing. Head fake Sage, up for 3. It's an air ball. Ball bounces around on the floor, and Humrickhouse comes up with it for Illinois. Iowa must foul quickly. They haven't yet. The clock winds inside a minute. They don't want to foul Wagler, who does give it up to Boswell, and he's now fouled with 50 and 8/10 seconds left. Boswell, a 77% shooter from the line. We'll go there here. And for all intents and purposes, we'll try to seal this game for Illinois. Kylan Boswell, who transferred from Arizona, knocks down number 1. Going to be a very difficult and disappointing end for Iowa, but goodness gracious, what a run by a 9 seed. Too much size and muscle from Illinois late, though. Boswell hits the second. That makes it a 10-point game. Sturts the other way, drives, kicks, extra feed by Combs. Up top, Howard gets it back on the wing. Combs for 3, glass and rim miss. Rebound, Stojakovic, and he's fouled with 38 seconds to go. And Illinois fans ready to burst with excitement. They already have. Final Four within their reach, and there's going to be a lot of Illinois Orange Crush in Indianapolis next Saturday. Not a long trip at all for Illinois fans to get to Indy. Stojakovic has been great in this tournament. He will go to the line here. That foul was on Koch. He fouls out. Hit 2 threes in this second half that felt like were going to be big shots for Iowa. Koch, a 3-point specialist. That's basically all he shoots. Nearly 80% of his field goal attempts this year have come from 3. Officials discussing something here. And now Wagler. What a story. He received all of 2 high major offers coming out of high school last year. Makes the first. Not trying to dunk on anyone here. I'm just giving you the numbers. 24/7 Sports had him ranked as the 150th incoming freshman in the country. And as he knocks down his second free throw, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year has put Illinois up by 12. Sturtz, speed dribble into the front court, gives it up for Manuel. Back for Sturtz. Long three. Off the heel, no good. Long rebound, run down by Combs. A return for Sturtz with 25 seconds. He'll jack up another. That's off the heel, no good. Rebound into the arms of Keaton Wagler for Illinois. He'll dribble into the front court, waving his arms up and down, surging on the Illinois fans. Iowa is not fouling. And the Illini will fight to the Final Four for the first time in over 20 years. Illinois is Final Four bound. They'll forge forward to Indianapolis as they come from 10 points down and create a 22-point turnaround to take down Big Ten rivals Iowa. 71-59 the final score, and Brad Underwood has led Illinois into a place where they hadn't been in so very long. He'll take half the Balkans with him to Indianapolis next week, and there will be a great Illinois contingency that will take to Indy next weekend. Illinois is off to the Final Four. The end of the road of a great run for Iowa, who finished 5 games and 5 spots lower than Illinois in the Big Ten regular season standings. They
Your
fought
point, Matthew.
so hard in this game. Yeah, go ahead, Seth.
To a point you just made, the State Farm Center where Illinois plays its games is a mere 112.2 miles from Lucas Oil Stadium. And I'm going to tell you something. We are very close to a scenario where we might have to tell Duke and UConn fans, you better bring a bunch of them. Because we could have Illinois, Purdue, and Michigan all in this thing in Indianapolis.
It just restart a Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis.
I mean, wouldn't it be something? Look, the league takes a lot of stick, and and they talk a big game. They haven't won a title in 26 years, but so many good teams this year. But I tell you what, Matthew, and you've been on this too. Michigan's got the hype all year long. Purdue was the preseason #1. Michigan State always gets talked about their consistency. Wisconsin was getting a lot of publicity. It felt like, even when they were struggling, I felt like this Illinois team just kind of flew under the radar, and I think that's the way Brad Underwood and co will like it. And I got a newsflash. How many of them are going to give them a chance in their semifinal game? So, playing under the radar in a virtual home game may be to their benefit, but good for Brad Underwood. What a coach he was. Remember him at Stephen F. Austin. And good for Illinois. This is a proud fan base, a proud program. And listen, time to get a little, the risk of getting a little sappy here, but as a young college basketball fan, one of my favorite teams to watch was that 2005 Illinois team. It's hard to believe it's been that long since they've been to a Final Four, but good for them. I hope that whole crowd's watching somewhere with a smile on their face tonight and celebrating this.
Yeah, Brad Underwood, he coached in community college for a number of years, first at Dodge City, then at Daytona Beach. He became an assistant coach at Kansas State, associate head coach at South Carolina, got that first major D1 head coaching job at Stephen F. Austin, and as you said, Seth, he was a mainstay with Stephen F. Austin in the tournament. His time there, 3 seasons, 3 tournament appearances. He went to Oklahoma State for a year and got out of there at the right time with the mess that was going on in that program. And now at Illinois, He has done things that I think that you talk about flying under the radar. Illinois has been doing that for a number of years. 7th straight 20-win season this year. Only 3 other schools can say they've won 20 or more in 7 straight seasons. Illinois is one of those programs that can say that. They've won at least 1 tournament game in 5 of the last 6 NCAA tournaments played. This has been a sneaky good program for a good while under Brad Underwood, and now the 62-year-old coach from McPherson, Kansas, will take his team and the Fighting Illini into the Final Four, led by an incredibly talented group. Keaton Wagler, the freshman of the year in the Big Ten, the Avicic brothers that have been through so much in their young lives, Kylan Boswell, an Arizona transfer, might see his old team in the Final Four next week. And this international roster with tremendous players like Markovic and Stojakovic. On they go to the Final Four next weekend in Indianapolis, and it's going to be a heck of a team to try to, heck of an effort, I should say, to try to eliminate this team, because they come at you in waves, and through 4 games in this tournament, they got to the number again tonight, didn't they? 12-point victory. That makes it 4 straight double-digit wins in this tournament, beating Penn by 35, VCU by 21, Houston by 10, and tonight beating Iowa by a dozen as they roll forward to the Final Four. I see that Pierre Moss has gotten in with us here. Pierre, hello to you.
Yes, sir, fellas, I'm here. What a win by Illinois. And could this finally be the year the Big Ten Conference finishes this thing off and win a national championship? They got a good shot at it, that's for sure.
We're going to keep
there's
it
a puncher's
here.
chance they could have 3 of the Final Four.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, here's the thing. We knew they were going to have 1. They've got 1 that's kind of a quote-unquote easy one. The hard part's coming up, some will tell you.
Yeah. We're going to keep it here for just a few minutes. We'll get final thoughts, and we'll look ahead, of course, to our next game, which is Arizona and Purdue. Let's start with you, Seth, real quick on this game as we wrap up Iowa's season and look forward to seeing Illinois next Saturday.
I mean, they're a team that just continues to just fly under the radar, like we said. And, you know, they're a team in Illinois that is going to be there will be a tough out, obviously. Now, they played UConn earlier this season. They did not play Duke, but they played Duke last year. And, well, it wasn't pretty. So, we'll see if I don't know if I would bring that up, though, because do you really need any extra motivation when you're in a Final Four? And again, like I said, I just can't get over the fact this fan base, this supporters group, it's not that far. And you can imagine there's a lot of people that probably are hardcore Illini fans that are on there, that are going to, that, you know, live on the Indiana line. So it'll be even closer for them. So a great run. But at the same time, your heart does go out. Pour one out and salute to the University of Iowa. What a fantastic run. They beat a solid team out of the ACC, Clemson. They then shocked the defending champs in their home state. Then they found a way to beat a really good Nebraska team the other night. Just ran out of gas at the end tonight. But it's so funny. All the years of good and solid teams that Steve Alford nor Fran McCaffrey could get over the hump, and Ben McCullum got him within 1 win of the Final Four in his first year. Remarkable how that works, but as long as he's around, I think Iowa basketball is in very good hands.
Yeah, for sure, and he might be around for a long time. He's from Iowa City, and boy, did he breathe some life into this program this year and certainly in this tournament run. Pierre, what'd you think about this Big Ten battle and Illinois coming out on top?
It was an awesome Big Ten battle for sure. They've had an awesome year as a conference. And they definitely want to finish this thing off with a championship. I did not expect Illinois at the start of the season to be Final Four worthy, but they have proven to be exactly that. And there will be plenty of orange and white and blue in Indy for the Final Four for sure.
Yeah, for sure. let's look forward to our next regional final out west in San Jose. It's the first of 2 games this weekend between top 2 seeds. It's Arizona, it's Purdue. Arizona, a giant all season long. They were number 1 for a time this year. A lot of people think they've been the best team all year long. Purdue, of course, started the season as preseason number 1. They've had some cracks as the season's gone on, but they're playing their best, the best they played all year long right now when it matters the most. A tip in at the buzzer, or basically at the buzzer, by Trey Kaufman-Renn got them to the finish line against Texas on Thursday night. Now can Purdue take down Arizona? This is a titanic struggle out in San Jose in the Shark Tank for a trip to the Final Four. Pierre, what do you think here? Boilermakers trying to head back home for the Final Four, of course. Arizona trying to get there for the first time in a long time.
Honestly, I think this is going to come down to this. The experience of Purdue against the talent of Arizona. I think that's where the game will be won and lost right there. If Purdue can use their experience, because they've been here before as a group, if they can use their experience, they should be able to win the game. However, if the Arizona talent wins out, and they are very talented, then I can see Arizona winning this thing in what should be a pro-Arizona crowd out in San Jose.
Yeah, and Arizona's always been so tough to beat in the West Regional in this tournament. But, Seth, it strikes me as stunning to know how terrific this Arizona program has been for so long. This is their first Elite Eight game in 11 years. They have not been to a Final Four since they lost the championship game in Minneapolis a quarter of a century ago. It's stunning for me to believe that it's been that long since they've been to the Final Four. They're 40 minutes away from it.
You know, Jim Jackson, who's working these games for American television in San Jose, said this early during the Purdue-Texas game. It's kind of fitting. It's kind of a fitting Elite Eight matchup, isn't it, with 2 teams who have been very good and very talented, but as the word Jackson used to describe Purdue, who have had their legacy defined by underachieving losses in this tournament under their current head coaches. Now, you didn't say about Arizona, you did mention about Purdue. It's very interesting. And, you know, you mentioned Arizona being tough to beat in the West, true. But do you know that this was their 3rd time going to San Jose for a tournament game? And the Arkansas game, it was their first win. They had lost their first 2 trips to the Shark Tank. Oklahoma 0-2. Oklahoma seems to beat them wherever, every few years, wherever they play at. But anyway, and then Xavier stunned them almost 10 years ago. God, I'm getting old. Arizona, I think, is the more talented team. Purdue, now granted, was the preseason number 1. And there were some stretches, you know, in the regular season when you watched them, you're like, I mean, how good are they? I mean, let's not forget, this was a team that was, the 6 or 7 seed in the Big Ten tournament. But they caught fire in that tournament, and they won it. And they played well enough. Like I said, I would lean Arizona, but I would not be surprised when Duke, UConn's getting all the hype, and rightfully so. I mean, that's just going to be cinema. This game's not too far behind it. I think we're in for a 40-minute battle tonight in San Jose.
Certainly hope that we are. Should be a great game. Arizona, a team that's been able to come at you in waves all year long. It's interesting how the best teams in the country kind of describe them the same ways, don't you? That line of coming at you in waves. We talk about it with Michigan. We talk about it with Duke. We talk about it with Illinois. We talk about it with Arizona as well. Yeah. So Arizona, a deep team, always cycling in fresh legs. Braden Berries has been one of the most entertaining players to watch all year. Jaden Bradley is as calm as they come at the point guard spot. Koa Pete had that electrifying start to the season, and he has been rock solid all year. And Purdue, we know with Braden Smith and company what you're going to get there. There's great size on this Purdue team. And can that size impose their will at any point today against an Arizona team with guys like Ivan Karchenkov, who's such a great defender on the inside? Tip-off of that game is 17 minutes away on this channel, 8:59 p.m. Eastern Time, between the Wildcats and the Boilermakers. JT, who's still he's still toiling back there trying to get this course
I
just
have
exactly
finished it.
right. Oh, he's finished it. Very good. JT, glad to have been with you again, and well, you won't be on with us tomorrow, so I will bid you a farewell for at least the next week or so.
Yes, I still need to go on the channel and sort everything out for tomorrow because I am an outsider. I have no idea what is happening, which is concerning since I'm involved in streaming one of them.
I was going to say, you might want to get on that.
JT and Seth will take you through the West Regional Final between Arizona and Purdue.
Look at, I just now see this. JT, Illinois advances to Final Four. Oh.
So
He's the freaking best.
Arizona and Purdue in the West Regional Final coming up in a matter of moments. We're going to sign off on the channel for now. We'll be back in less than 15 minutes because it's Purdue and Arizona coming up. But for now, it's Illinois over Iowa, 71-59. The Illini have advanced to the Final Four for the first time in 21 years. Seth and JT will see you shortly.